What's up guys, it's Jacob, your personal rank 1 healer, again with you today, and we'll be playing Resto Shaman in this video. I'll be doing a commentary over a win streak that me and Revo had. Revo is an insane warrior. I'll put his stream in the link below, or his stream link in the description below if you guys want to check him out. You should follow my stream as well if you want to watch me play these games live and ask any questions that you want. You can check out the unlimited amount of hours and hours of games that I have played on all the different healers in Shadowlands, in the VODs, on that stream for free. So go follow me there. I'll leave that link below as well. And we're just going to get into the shaman stuff now that we're done with that. So right now I'm just going to talk about talents. Generally, we're going to be playing Unleash Life. We're going to play Echo of Elements. We're going to play Earth Grab Totem, Earthen Wall, Graceful Spirit instead of Nature's Guardian, just because I don't feel like I can die versus this team. So the Nature's Guardian is kind of useless. I get a shorter Aura Mastery cooldown, or Spirit Walker's Grace cooldown, if you will, with this talent. Then Flash Flood and Ascendance. Our PvP talents are going to be Grounding for Freezing Trap and Chastise and Mind Games. And then Aura Mastery with the Spirit Walker's Grace, as well as Short Hex. Since they don't have a Hex dispel, I can spam Hex each one of them. Whoever I want, whoever we happen to be going, I can Hex the other person, whatever's good in the moment. So we're just going to use these talents and get into it. First thing to notice, I do not have Mana Shield up. This is my first game on Shaman in a while. So I did forget to use Mana Shield. You should always Mana Shield at the start. I just get kicked here, but it's totally fine because we're full health. So he kicks me and it doesn't do anything. They use their stun into fear on me. My warrior leaps onto the priest to stop anything else from occurring, maybe mind games or something, but he leaps to him and stormbolts him. I'm just casting Hex. The hunter half stuns me to try to stop my Hex and tries trapping me, but I grounding totem the freezing trap. They've cast mind games. I just have wind shear on it. I have him on my focus. I'm just watching him, getting a free Hex on the hunter because he trinketed my last Hex. Just doing a half Hex of rescue there. Trying to go for free lava burst damage. Getting kicked on fire is totally fine for me. Just going for more lava burst damage, trying to keep my flame shock up, but I do get freezing trapped here off of the Door of Shadows, but then they break I trinket the freezing trap to stay offensive. We fear the hunter into a full Hex, always going for hexes on the off target whenever I can. Now I'm trying to Hex the priest, low health, while my warrior isn't on him. So now the priest can't top himself. He's stuck low health in a Hex. Gives my warrior time to get to him. Now both the hunter and the priest are low HP because the priest was never able to top them. We get a Mortal Strike, Sharpened Blade on the healer there. It's going to be really hard for him to top himself, especially with this warrior just sitting on him, pummeling him. I got stunned here. My warrior intervened to try to reflect the freezing trap. At the end of the intervene reflect, I did try to drop a grounding totem, but they killed it and get the freezing trap. The priest does have psychic scream off of this, and so my warrior is forced to parry or die by the sword right there. Just using Aura Mastery here or Spirit Walker's Grace to top my warrior. Got the Binding Shot Dispel off my warrior so that he can stay offensive. I'm able to Lava Burst the healer because of my Flame Shocks, but I get trapped on it once again, so it's really hard for me to stay offensive here. My warrior is messing with the priest so that he can't get the mind games off. He's going for the cast again, and I just wind shear it there. I use my Ascendance for some extra healing, trying to fake the hunter's kick here. I ground the mind games and fake the hunter's kick in the same global. I hexed the hunter there too because he had no kick and he had to trinket the Hex. Just allowing my warrior to stay on this priest as much as possible, getting my lava bursts in with my procs. The hunter's pushing in to stun me, but my warrior intervene reflects for the trap. I tried dropping a Tremor Totem to get the psychic scream from the healer, but he didn't press it, unfortunately. I just dropped an earthen there in between the two people, but the priest kites out of it. Hunter's using Door of Shadows to try to get close to me to trap me, but I was casting Hex on him with Spirit Walker's Grace and was able to juke it a while continuing my cast. There, I purged my warrior out of the mind control with my purge, offensive purge ability. If you guys didn't know, you can get your teammates out of mind control by offensively purging them. So I did that, and now he's able to get the kill. and the priest goes down. This is at about 2370 MMR for the other team. The rating will get higher and higher as we go through these wins. So let's get into the next game. Okay, so this game is a Warrior Resto Shaman mirror. We're going to be playing Earth Grab for sure. It's going to be huge versus the Warrior. I'm going to play Nature's Guardian this game instead of Graceful Spirit in case he decides to go me. Maybe this could help me. The Nature's Guardian somewhere in the game. I'm taking Spectral Recovery, as you always should versus an Arms Warrior that could train you, because it allows you to kite him around pillars without being slowed, and it's definitely necessary if they decide to go you. Using Aura Mastery here for the Wind Shears and Pummels, and Grounding Totem for Hex and Lava Burst, and whatever else they might cast on us. So the rest of the talents are pretty standard. I'll just get into the game. Okay, so starting off again, I need to put Mana Shield up on myself, but I do not have it until a little bit into the game. The Warrior instantly tries to go me. I used my Earth Grab with him inside the room. I'm not sure why he didn't Bladestorm it or use an out, but he sat the full root in the room, didn't get dispelled either because the Shaman is in the middle of the map getting pumped by my Warrior. Just using my procs on the Warrior, big fatty lava bursts, keeping the damage as much as I can. If I don't have to be healing, I should be doing something offensive, whether it be lava bursting, purging, or wind shearing. We do get a capstone onto the healer after that fear. It's probably not good. It would probably be better if I let my Warrior get a full stun with his stun and not DR the healer. I rooted the Warrior there and kept kiting. My Warrior charged him to peel and to swap the pressure over. Their Warrior just leaps in on me, but I drop a Earthbind Totem and just stay in my Ghost Wolf. This is what you want to do versus Warriors that train you. Don't stop and try to heal through the damage. Just kite. Just go Ghost Wolf. Use that talent, that PvP talent, and just run. And then heal yourself whenever you're in safety. But anyways, their Warrior is just pumping my Warrior. My Warrior disarmed him, but he trinketed. I do have Lava Burst proc available, just throwing it in there. Keeping up the damage as much as I can, trying to out-damage their Shaman. Get my Flame Shocks on both targets, throwing more Lava Burst to spell the root off my Warrior. Dropped an Earth Grab on the Warrior when my Warrior went towards his Shaman. So that way my Warrior can get uptime on their Shaman, and I'm just peeling their Warrior for however long it may be. Just maxing our uptime versus their uptime is what I'm thinking about. Their Warrior's avataring. I just drop a slow totem, go wolf form, run away. He leaps to me. He can't stay on me though because I can't be slowed. So this is exactly how you should play versus Warriors. He literally doesn't know what to do. I'm just line of sighting him. My Warrior Bladestorms out of their Shaman's root and he's still on him. I use my regular heals. I used Spirit Walker's Grace there, thinking that I would be having to mess with Wind Shear, but the Shaman just ran away. So I hexed the Warrior, he gets dispelled, and then I rooted him right whenever he got dispelled so that he sits the full root. My Warrior just fears to keep the Shaman low, but unfortunately, I was already casting a Lava Burst, as you can see. I'm casting a Lava Burst, and here's another one, and he fears him. And sadly, this fear won't sit because my Lava Burst is already midair. And my Lava Burst breaks his fear, which allows him to get some of the pressure off of himself. He kites away, just continuing my damage. Pushing into the room to keep my Warrior healthy. Just keeping him topped up. I do have Lava Burst proc available, but the Warrior has a Reflect. I'm going to drop an Earth Grab to probably peel the Warrior out of line of sight of the healer, but my Warrior ends up breaking it to hit their Warrior. Their healer uses his Aura Mastery right here. My Warrior disarms their Warrior. I'm just getting Lava Burst damage as free as I can. Drop the Healing Tide for some extra healing. Their Warrior's avataring. It's good to use. I could have pre-trimmered that fear, but I wasn't fast enough with it. Definitely could have gotten it. So they end up hexing me off of that fear. Unfortunately, my Warrior could not stop it. Revo's in a root. I dispel it. Their Warrior parries. My warrior leap and maybe pummels their healer there. I'm not sure if he actually got the kick. Both healers have pretty good mana right now. Neither me nor their shaman are in any trouble with mana. So the good thing for us right now is that they're stacking up for my warrior to cleave them, and I'm just free the whole game to do whatever I want because their warrior can't go me. So we're just getting way more damage on them with the cleave, way more pressure. Their shaman walled there, and my warrior just feared him on his wall to stop him from topping himself. And now the warrior's in execute range. The shaman's almost in execute range. I use the earth grab to keep them together while my warrior's in a stormbolt. I get a hex, but and their healer actually trinkets it, even though it would have broken. And then the shaman goes down. I just dispelled my warrior out of his root. And this is about 2360 MMR for the other team. Again, we're going to be going up and up and up, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so this game is versus the sub-rogue disc priest. I will be running the earth grab to keep the rogue from getting re-stealth as much as possible. And we'll be playing short aura mastery instead of nature's guardian, because if I get kidney shotted and the priest mind games me at low HP, then my nature's guardian will proc and actually kill me in the stun. So playing the short aura mastery, playing grounding totem, the rest being just normal talents. So anyway, oh actually I am playing, I'm not sure if I'm playing short hex or not. I may be playing short hex here, we will see. But anyways, I get sapped. I use my Earth Ally in the opener because it gives me more stamina with the conduit in case they go me. They're just going my warrior with Dark Arc and Shadow Dance. My warrior disarms their rogue. I just sat all the CC because the rogue still has blind and my warrior managed to survive. Their rogue got a re-stealth. I tried rooting him out of stealth, but I didn't get him. We forced the barrier onto the priest. The rogue kicks me, but it doesn't really matter. We fear the priest to keep him low HP while he's in the barrier. I keep the rogue in combat with a flame shock and a lava burst just to kind of pressure both of them. Getting a lot of lava burst procs here on the rogue, get him to half HP, making the priest's life a little more difficult. I get blinded full. I can trinket the blind because I saved it for the blind. Just lava bursting. The rogue pops shadow blades here. Getting as many lava bursts as I possibly can on him, trying to force pressure. I wind shear the healer on the Shadow Mend. The rogue step kidneys me for the priest to fear me off. Then the rogue's going to pop Shadow Dance, stun up my warrior, and do a go. Just going to be sitting this because I don't have any outs. Then my warrior intervened for the sap off of the fear, so my warrior actually got me from getting CC'd off the fear, which is really, really good. I'm trying to keep the rogue in combat, so I drop a totem to slow him and keep him in combat. I root him behind the pillar where the priest can't dispel him. I'm just getting free damage on the priest, and their rogue is totally out of the game with my root. Basically just CC'd him for a really long time. I probably could have hexed them actually off of that root, which would have been good too. But I did not see it in that situation, I guess. I'm full kidneyed. I tried to pre-earthen in the general vicinity. So that way if he went me, then I was in the earthen, and if he went my warrior could come into it. I root the rogue before he can get a re-stealth. He was trying to line of sight my warrior to get a re, but the earth grab totem is just insanely good for that. I get a full hex on him, and the priest can't dispel it either. I am playing short hex since I'm able to switch it to the priest there. I tried hexing him low while his barrier was up to keep him at low HP. We've used fear there on the rogue and go the priest with Stormbolt, keeping the rogue in combat by frost shocking him, slowing him. He uses his bomb to keep me from healing my warrior on the go. The rogue's trying to re again. I just use my totem and try to get him, but it does not work. Unfortunately, really bad for us. He just gets a sap because I didn't get combat. I thought my totem was going to get him, but it didn't. Not really sure how. Their priest is totally out of mana. He's in a Stormbolt. He's 30% HP. He can't get the warrior off of him. So he's probably just going to fall to the pressure here. I still have Trinket for blind, but I didn't even really need to press it. But the priest goes down, and we're on to the next game. Okay, so for the talents this game, it's going to be standard stuff once again. I'm playing Spectral Recovery, but I probably should play Sky Fury Totem there. The rest is pretty normal. The mage uses his combust right here. I press Fleshcraft in case he wanted to Dragon's Breath me into a polymorph. He didn't do it though. He's casting Ring right there. I spin and I tried wind shearing it and I thought I did get it, but apparently I didn't get it. Anyways, my warrior reflects the next poly. He fears the feral and stuns the mage, trying to get a lot of pressure. I got my flame shocks on him. I think he may have... Yeah, the mage has alter time here, as you can see. And so he's jumping down and he's going to try to teleport back up. But I instantly purged it off. As you can see, my purge global is at the bottom right. I got the alter time off and my warrior is able to stay on him. Just trying to stay offensive while staying alive at the same time. They're about to do a go. We're all coming off DRs very soon. The mage is casting Shifting Power to get his cooldowns back up. The feral bashes me up. Jamili misses the Ring of Frost on me and isn't able to get the polymorph because Revo intervened me. Get the Flame Shock onto the mage just to get those procs and farm them. Try to help my warrior land a kill on this team. I dispelled my warrior, but I should have not. I should have dispelled my own root. Now the feral tries to root me again out of line, but my dispel was back up. I just pressed Ascendance to instant top my warrior because I didn't have any... because the mage had CS and I didn't want to cast anything. But anyways, their mage presses Combust. I drop a Grounding Totem. I'm trying to purge it off. I'm pressing Purge a bunch of times. I didn't get the Combust off, unfortunately. I get polymorphed here. So now I keep trying to poly me. My warrior's in a stun. I just trinket the stun. Maybe I shouldn't have trinketed because they're feral. It looks like he jumped down. I press the link here to stabilize this as much as possible while I'm stuck in this root. Keep my flame shock on the feraldruid. We're switching targets because nothing seems like it's able to die with the feral's off healing being so crazy. The feral uses bark skin there. My warrior is able to stay on him for a little while. My warrior uses a double fear onto them. I'm just lava bursting the feral druid. I use a hex onto the mage, even though the feral can dispel it, but at least the feral is forced to come down. Right there, I could have wind sheared the poly, but he actually blinked behind me, which was really good on him. He blinked right behind me, so I didn't get the wind shear on the polymorph. I did wind shear that, however. We Stormbolt the mage and swap to the mage since the feral druid is being a nuisance. I get rake stunned into a clone behind the pillar. Their mage pops Combust on Revo. He uses his parry to stay alive. That's just a fine trade. It's not a big deal. Get the parry for the Combust. The feral's off healing is just crazy, and the amount of kiting that they have is pretty good for them too. As Revo isn't a Vinthier warrior, I think he's a Necro warrior in this session. He Stormbolted the Cyclone there, which is really good by him. He stopped the Feral Druid from cloning me. The mage got a blink poly on me there, which was my fault. I should have wind sheared it, but I did not get it fast enough. He uses ring, he gets a half ring, and they're trying to Cyclone me full off of this, but for whatever reason, they don't get it. Just using my lava bursts when I can. Street the feral with the cap stun, just for the global. I purged the Combust off the mage instantly. He lost his Combust. He does have CS for me, so I'm trying to deal with his counter spell. He tried faking me on poly, but I kicked his second poly. I have double flame shock up. I should be able to get a decent amount of procs here. If I'm not forced to heal too much, then maybe I can get some pressure. I don't really care what I'm doing damage to because they have to be healing like one way or another. So if he's healing one guy, then that means he's not healing the other guy. So I'm just doing as much damage as I can. Doesn't really matter which one I'm doing it to because they're both getting cleaved. The mage is low. I'm just trying to line of sight with this pillar as much as I can. They have polymorph and they have clone that I have to mess with. The mage has no CS. He's popping combust. I purged the combust off instantly, and my warrior pressed this parry, which is fine to trade for his combust. Their mage alter time to back up onto the top of the bridge before I had a chance to purge it. He's just taking a lot of damage here. I'm getting extra lava bursts. He cancels his ice block to kite with his cauterize proc. He trinkets the stormbolt there. He blinks to get the dragon's breath and the poly on me. I probably could have fleshcrafted that. Actually, no, I couldn't have. I've already used fleshcraft. His ring of frosting. I kicked the polymorph. My warrior kicked the ring of frost. It's good to rotate your kicks. We aren't in voice whenever we're playing these games, so we are kind of going off of the fly. Trying to fake this mage's CS. I get it. Out of the way. I'm able to use heals to top my warrior since we don't have to deal with counterspell anymore. Just trying to get as many lava bursts as we can after that alter time is over. Use root to keep the druid in combat off of his fear, and then we just kill the mage. So that team was actually really hard. It was a double DPS team. Feral Firemage, Jamili, and another rank 1 feraldruid. That was actually really, it's so hard to find a kill versus that team for whatever reason. The Feral's heals are just crazy. And they do have really scary goes, but I think our comp does pretty well into it. We're probably one of the harder comps for them to play against. Either way, they're 25-50, so we're still climbing. I'm going to show you guys one more game in this session, and that'll be it. But let's move on to the next game. Okay, this game is against Marks Hunter, Holy Priest. This is going to be Dillion and a rank 1 Priest. Anyways, I'm going to be playing Graceful Spirit for the shorter Aura Mastery. I'm going to be playing the Grounding Totem for Freezing Trap, Mind Games, Chastise, and Short Hex since they can't dispel Hex, just like the first Hunter game, Hunter Priest game, the BM Hunter. So it's going to be those talents. Okay, so this game, Warriors generally go on Priests. Priests are very susceptible to warriors and not being able to kite them very easily. So anyways, just starting off the game with some pressure on the hunter, just using my flame shock, lava burst procs. He uses his freedom on himself to get out of my root. I dispel Revo out of his binding shot. The hunter kicks me there on Hex, I believe. I use Fleshcraft in case he wants to try to CC me with trap or something. He already scattered though, so maybe I should have held my Fleshcraft for a second. Their priest is closing in on me. I fake his Shadow or Death with my Hex. I drop a Tremor Totem and run away so that he can't fear me. I tried to get his fear with my Tremor Totem, but he didn't press it. But nonetheless, I did escape with it. I'm casting Hex on him now. I thought I'd already faked his death, but I don't know if I did or not because it was up again right there. He deathed my Hex. It doesn't really matter because my warrior swapped to him anyway. But definitely the idea of just going for Hexes all the time as much as possible is really good, no matter who it's on, as long as it's on like the off target. My warrior just fears the priest there to keep him low health. The priest uses Battle Master. I dropped a Grounding Totem and immuned the freezing trap that he tried dropping on me. I just root the hunter and his pet out of line. Just try to mess with them as much as I can. I get a Hex onto the hunter, and I'm playing Short Hex, so if I wanted to, I could have hexed him again there. But maybe I should have, but I tried getting in line of the priest to pressure him. I kicked his Door of Shadows so that he couldn't kite my warrior. The priest is just trying to line of sight me so that I can't do extra damage and purge and wind shear. But anyways, the hunter is off Hex TR. I root him there. He feigns out of it. I cast Hex on him. All he has is his counter shot. He tries throwing a trap at me, but I just run backwards and he misses it. I get a full Hex onto the hunter here. The priest tried to Shadow Word Death there, but my Hex was actually on the hunter. Little did he know it was not on him. But now if the priest pushes out, he knows that I can try to Hex him, so he's scared to come out. He uses his Fade to immune the CC. I get a Dispel onto my warrior who's in the binding shot. He gets trapped, but it actually ends up breaking because it was an old trap that he didn't expect. He just walked into it while the hunter was hitting him, and it broke. I'm just casting Hex on whatever's in my line of sight and off DR. The priest aligned it, and so did the hunter. Dropped an earth grab there. I get a Hex onto the hunter, but my warrior starts blade storming him at the same time and breaks it, which is totally fine. It doesn't really matter. I'd rather him blade storm there than let my Hex sit. They scattered my warrior off the priest. They also used their pet sack to mitigate crit damage on the priest, so they don't have that anymore. My warrior's just switching to the hunter for a second there, and so am I with the lava bursts. Just getting as much damage as we can. We're ooming the priest and getting a lot of pressure. I do have Spirit Walker's Grace up right now, trying to get a Hex perhaps on the healer. I fake his Shadow or Death, cast another one, but he fades. I'm getting a lava burst off. He chastises me for the hunter to get a trap on to myself. I maybe could have fleshcrafted it, but it would have been really hard to predict the chastise timing. Anyways, their hunter's popping cooldowns on my warrior. My warrior is just trying to get on something. Their healer's drinking. I dropped a root totem to stop him from drinking, and my warrior leaped on top of him as well to keep the pressure rolling. I'm just pushing into the room to keep my warrior alive and offensive. Their hunter's rapid firing and doing a good amount of damage to my warrior. So I had Earthen for it, which is good for all the little hits, and I also popped Ascendance for that instant big heal. Just getting lava bursts when I can on what I can. Trying to cast Hex on the hunter. He kicks me. Right as soon as he kicked me, I should have been casting Fleshcraft to try to immune the trap. My warrior just intervened to me to catch the hunter since the hunter was close to me. I rooted the healer and dropped a capstone in the doorway just to mess with him. I can Hex him as soon as he comes out into my line of sight. But now my warrior switched to the healer, so I just Hex the hunter. Just try to make it a 2v1 as much as possible. I dropped a Trimmer totem there as the priest was running by to try to immune his fear with my Trimmer. Their hunter's popping big cooldowns on my warrior. He just parries at full health and still almost gets one-shotted by the hunter. I get scatter-shotted here into a half freezing trap. Their priest has fear off of this. It's half as well because of the war banner that my warrior just dropped, I believe. I dispel his binding shot. He kicks the Door of Shadows. I do have Hex for whoever I can get it on at this moment. The hunter does have a kick up that I have to deal with. I just rooted him there to mess with him and his pet as well. Their healer's trying to drink, so I just run around the corner and try to stop him, but my warrior's already there. I faked the hunter's kick there with my Hex, and he's forced to scatter me into a half trap, but he has no pressure, and my warrior's not even in his line of sight to do damage, so it's really good for us. I can now start messing with him because he has no kick, so I just Hex him. He can't kick me. I can Hex him again too if I want off of that first Hex. I dropped a Trimmer there in case the priest tried fearing me. Just a lot flame shock him as fast as possible, get some lava burst damage in, dispel my warrior's binding shot. Their priest uses Apotheosis, so he does have Chastise available. And he Guardian Spirits himself. Just continuing the pressure. Lava burst, lava burst, lava burst. Big lava burst, flame shocks, going wild. I use my Spirit Walker's Grace to keep up with my warrior and keep him full health. The priest is dipping into execute range. He's about to go down, and we take him out. So that is how you want to play a Resto Shaman with a warrior. You just pressure whatever you can. If the other team doesn't have a Hex dispel, you try to Hex whatever you can as much as you can just to keep it up, keep the pressure rolling. We got it from 23 to 2450 MMR really quick in that session. Took less than 30 minutes, and we won every single game. Revo's an insane warrior. I feel like we could have gotten a lot higher rated too. But we just did a short session right there. Anyways, if you guys like this video, please like the video. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Please come hang out with me on Twitch at my stream where you can ask any questions about any healers or just arena in general. But yeah, anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. Take it easy wherever you are in the world. I love you all, and peace out.